You What's going on, guys? It's your another episode of Inside the NFL Mind of Miami. I am your host, Miami the Great. What's going on, guys? We're back here again to talk about just the schedule and the um some uh bets here on Thursday. That's all we're going to do. We're not going to get into too much of the news because that's more the Tuesday side, guys. So welcome and how is everyone doing today? We're going to do probably like a couple minutes here and just get into some of the stuff that we got going on today. Like I said, we was going over. We stopped at week. Um, I think we stopped at week 7, if I'm not mistaken. um, week 6, I mean, of the NFL on the show. So we are on to week 7 right now. We're going to definitely talk about week 7. Um, like I said, I'm going to just look over. We're going to look over a couple bets here again. Um, I think they only got like maybe the first two, maybe week 1 and the first week of the NFL right now. I still don't think they have props for right now on the sites yet. Um, the best sites to use, if I always recommend people, um, even if you want to follow, if you are into bets or betting, um, the best thing to probably use is Prop Finders. It's a You can use it on your laptop. You can use it. They tell you a way of how you can use it as an app. If you go on the light sign and go over there, they'll tell you how to use it as an app and put it as your app on the phone. Um, like I say, normally I use DraftKings in the Discord that we have. If you can see the QR code, you want to scan and get into me and CJ's Discord. Um, I use FanDuel and DraftKings. I think the plan for me going into the NFL season is just basically I'm gonna use one app for just any TDs and the other for props. Basically, if you're new to betting, props is just basically like if a uh, a player gets two or three catches, it's like catches, receiving yards, um, how many catches, like far as like if it was wide receiver, it'd be catches, um, the yardage, and I mean you could throw touchdowns in there. I don't think that will be part of the prop if you was doing it like that, but it'll be mostly receptions and receiving. If you put it down for a quarterback, it doesn't matter. It can be tight end too, because most of the time, people put in the tight ends. Tight ends is the same thing. It'll be receiving. Um, it'll be yardage. So things like that will be something you'll put down. That will consider as a prop bet. So it's yardage, receptions, things like that. Now, if you're doing a running back, it'll be yardage. You can do catches too, because some you don't forget, and this is something that I think a lot of people don't they kind of miss out on. Most teams are going to do those short passes, short game passes. You got to think about it. Most of the majority of the time, especially probably week one, you want to probably put small games on there. Like, say, for instance, you want to put down someone for 40 yards for a bet. That's something that could be reasonable most of the majority of the time, especially if the team has a good tight end. Most of the time, they might just got one wide receiver and one tight end. You got to think about it. That defense is probably going to be covering that wide receiver. So who else do they got to go to? It's either going to be the tight end or the running back if they have a decent running back. Let's take the Colts for instance. You got Taylor most of the majority of the time and the tight end for the Colts. Most of the majority of the time, you it's a wide receiver because, like I say, I feel like that's going to probably be the two people they're going to do. I think that's what's probably going to be the Colts' game going into this season. It probably be a little short pattern here, a little running here. Most of the majority of the time, if they do get long yardage, it will be their first year tight end, which he did wonderful last year. He did really good for rookie um, last year. I feel like I'm hoping that usually it is into the second year. Some people call it the sophomore slump. Um, but sometimes you don't see that in most players. You didn't even see it in Puka. He hasn't hit it. So most players just are so elite that they get over that. Now I am surprised that Marvin Harris Jr. did hit that. He's on his third year though. But I just think that it's just one, Kyler Murray wasn't not so healthy last year. He hasn't had the quarterback to get him there yet. And I feel like even this year, I'm still a little. I told you guys, I'm still worried about Arizona and how the Arizona's looking right now, and I still believe in that. Like I say, I feel like they still probably will be at the bottom when it comes to teams in the NFL. They're probably one of my teams that I feel like will still be at the bottom. I still feel like the Jets will be in that mix too. Would the Raiders be better than what they was last year? Yeah, but they'll still be probably at the bottom of their division because they're in a pretty tough division. Especially if Bo Nix now they said that Bo Nix has a possibility of coming back. So I feel like the Raiders can still fall down short in their in their division. I think that's will be definitely something that um, we'll have to keep looking out for as far as team wise um, when it comes to the NFL for the Raiders. And I've been saying that for the longest for them. So, like I say, we have the next coming up schedule. Like I say, and I'll show you guys. Like right now, prop bets doesn't have it. It's just they only have the research, but this is one of the best apps that I would say use. Usually, it will look something sort of like this. Um, like I say, it's a great tool to use. Like I say, if you do your study, this is baseball, guys, but it ain't football. It'll be something that we'll use too for Thursdays. Like I say, Thursdays, I'm definitely gonna try to come on a little earlier for you guys. I'm gonna start at 6 until the game comes on. That's something that I definitely gotta improve on. I got a little busy today, so work got in the way, but that's because of me because I woke up a little late. But once football season starts, I think I'm gonna have to start waking up a little bit early so I can get to you guys, especially on Thursdays, so we can talk about the game and get you guys prepared. But this is a great tool to use too. Prop finders, like I say, that's a great tool for you guys if you want to use that for your Tuesday look up like your bets. It helps you out with prop bets as it says, it's prop finders. So that's consider of what a prop could be. Like I say, you can use yardage, receptions, and things like that. So I think that's something that will be great, excellent to use for you guys. Um, so that'll be a great tool for you guys. Um, and it helps you with bets. Like I say, that's for my people who are putting in the bets um for your season for the NFL. Like I say, we did talk about week one. It is a good week right there, but like I say, don't get too caught up into some of the bets that you would probably do that week. We're gonna take a look at it here on the channel and just really kind of get assessment with you guys on where you can probably maybe lean more of your bets too, if you ask me, and stuff. Princess, stop. But yeah. So we left off at week. I think I'm week 7. Yeah. So we're on week 7, guys. Let's get into the schedule for week 7. Real quick. We'll probably do two of these schedules here. Let's go to week 7 here, and let's go. So this is week 7 here, guys. We got week 7 on the board. I think it's gonna pull up here. We got week 7 here of the NFL. The first game on the Thursday game. It's actually a night game. Now I'm pretty sure I thought I could have swore maybe they changed the schedule because I could have swore there was a lot of morning games. But like I say, long as it's not a morning game, I'm definitely going to try to do a live for you guys. I mean, well, I will have to because that's the only way. As long as it's not a morning game, definitely try to do a live for you guys around 6 o'clock. And this will probably be one of the games that we'll definitely talk about and break down with you guys. Like I say, New England and Chicago. I feel like New England is going to be a better team. The DraftKings actually Chicago winning this game, which I'm very surprised they got them on the line for this game, and it's because it's in Chicago, but sometimes um, that as a bet, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would go with New England on the upset. Yes, it's week 7, as long as everybody stays healthy. I'm looking at this as going into healthy, even though we know that's not a possibility. It's possible. You got to think about it. Your offensive line got to stay healthy. your defensive line has to stay healthy. Some of your top players that make the plays for you have to stay healthy for you to win some of these games. Week 7 is a critical week. By this week, you want to have some great, either some decent wins or dead near where you're like, okay, we still have a window to get into the playoffs. And I think that's something that a lot of teams at week 6 is going to be looking at. Week 7, you already know, okay, you are in that comfort zone. You want to look into your division. Maybe if it's someone maybe close to your division, like if y'all are tied, you still want to play every game. You got to think about when is your it's a couple times I told you guys like um some of um the games where you got the rest week. I think a lot of teams are going to consider taking that, especially if you go into if you're going into that week where you're kind of some of your players are a little banged up. I think that's will be the best time for you to have um, the um, the rest period. Like I say, it all depends on when your rest is going to come up. When that week for you be getting back healthy. Some of the teams, especially if you have the players that you need. A lot of people don't think that. Yes, we know the big names like the Travis Kelce's and all that, but you got to think about it. Your offensive line matters too. Your defensive line matters too. Your edge rushers, people who get to the quarterback, those matter. So people like that who you don't think about or not get that much light. Everybody on the team matters. So I think this is something that you have to look at a whole as a whole. So that's why I say I'm surprised they have Chicago here winning, but I can kind of understand why they have it's in Chicago. Chicago, I feel like I'm still a little worried about them. By week 7, we'll kind of know how the Chicago Bears are going to be. I feel like they're going to probably spread the ball a little bit more this year, much like they did last year. I feel like someone will have to step up and fill the shoes of Moore now because he's gone. So I think that will be something that we will see with them. Um, I'm a little still worried about some of the things that they're going to do. Yes, I am. So I feel like that's something that we have to take a consideration of and see how are they going to adjust to some changes they had. They didn't make too many changes, but I feel like they made a few. Could it hurt them? It could. Like I say, a lot of things could hurt a team. Um, I feel like they are going to have to be worried about the Vikings. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the division they are in. When it comes down to division, let me see here. I think that's the division. Let me see if we can. I can look up the schedule status. So yeah, okay. So I'm looking at it here. The Bears are in. So yeah, they do have the Vikings in their division. They have the Green Bay Packers in their division, and they have the Lions in their division. I feel like, um, believe it or not, I feel like still the Vikings could win this division because I feel like they're going to be the underdogs in the division. I think that's where the Bears are going to have to worry about. I think they're going to probably be chasing the Vikings. That's if they are still the same team they are. But like I say, a lot of changes have happened. I don't got the Bears in this line. They got it at 47. Um, New England could by now. I think the team will be a lot of adjusted. I think Brown will be so familiar with the new offense by then. I think him and Dobbs would be adjusted to the team. I think they would use the running game. I think you can't forget about the tight end for New England. I think all these things will go into the play game of this game, and then it's a Thursday game. So games like this is a game you definitely want to look at first and last. You can go a few ways. I think a lot of bets are going to be with probably Brown. I'm pretty sure people will have Brown, so the odds are probably going to be a little low. I wouldn't be surprised to be way low. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone else gets the first TD. They could probably go Romeo on this game here. Let's look at the schedule real quick. I mean the roster here because like I say they could go a few ways on this roster. Let's go roster here. And like I say, this is ways where I feel like you kind of can have your and I'm just saying for the people who are doing the bets, if you're betting, you kind of want to study who your players of who you want to have and where you want to go. Yes, I still know they have Tony V, um, Drake Maverick. That could be a possible touchdown. You can't forget about the Higgins, which I feel like could be a possibility of a touchdown. That could be your first. Any TD too. You can't forget about that. I feel like New England didn't do a lot of running last year. They might do more this year. I feel like the game's going to go different. So this is something that you might want to take note of, especially probably week 7. You're getting to that week where most teams are starting to run it more, and this could be a possibility. And that's something that you might want to look at. I feel like they could split it up between him and Jameis. There could possibility between them. I can see that happening with that. They could split the ball up, but I feel like they can maybe have Higgins go for it. Another possibility, like I say, AJ Brown. We already said that. I feel like the odds are going to be low for him. If you ask me, I feel like a lot of people are going to have him for the first time TD. Could it hit? It could, because like I say, it depends on who wins the toss. I think by the week 7, Brown should be adjusted to this team. Um, do the Bears have enough to stop them? I don't know, because like I say, I feel like their defense put their offense in a lot of situations where they had to battle back, and they did a good job battling back or trying to stick with the team. They had a lot of great plays here and there. It was a lot of times Williams did make some mistakes at the wrong time of making interceptions. I think that's something that he has to look at film and maybe take a consideration on trying to not make too many interceptions. Like I say, you don't want to make a lot of mistakes on offense. I think that's something that me and CJ we talk about on the Tuesday shows when we're doing NFL recaps, where a lot of mistakes, a lot of those penalties are going to cost teams, and everyone knows that. You got your team is doing a lot of penalties. It's going to cost you the game, no matter what. Um, even though your team, and this is something else I noticed too. Even though a team, if they have the time of possession and they have the ball for a long time, that doesn't mean nothing because just because you got the ball longer I've seen when me and CJ's ran down a couple of these games, that team has still lost. You got to score. I think that's what a lot of teams are going to have to, at least these try scoring. That just because you had the ball, that means the defense stop you from scoring. You can't settle for field goals because field goals. I mean, yes, you can get as many, but if the team is getting touchdowns and you're getting field goals, you're going to dig yourself into a hole that you don't want to be dipped in. And I think that's something that I don't see New England being in that. Like I said, a lesson their team is just really like getting injured here and there. So like I say, Brown could be a person that could definitely be on that NETD for this game. Romeo Dawes is something that we cannot forget. He came from Green Bay. Him and Love had some great connections. I feel like and him and Dots, not Dots, but him and Drake can have a great core. I feel like they could be on the same page. That could be. I feel like a lot of people want to have a lot of bets on him for first TD. I'm not gonna be surprised. I would be surprised if they go on first TD Dots. He could probably hit it on the first TD too. So that's something that you have to see, and we'll probably see too at the end of the day. So that's something that you got to see soon. So I feel like that could possibly happen with that too. Like I say, and they still got Henry too. Hunter Henry, he's had a lot of NTDs. I feel like could that be a first NTD? Yes, it could. So there's a lot of possibilities are NTDs and first TDs in this game right now for um, the New England Patriots for this first game with the Bears. Like I say, I'm more worried about the Bears. I'm really concerned on how their gameplay is going to be. I think by week 7, most of us will have an idea of where they struggling, and where are they, exceeding at the end of the day. But I'm very surprised they got Chicago. They're saying is in Chicago, but I would take New England for this win. I feel like they have the better team. To be honest with you guys, I will go that. Could they get 47? I just named alone on the New England's if the and that's if the um Bears defense can't hold up. If their defense can't hold up, then you got maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns. Could they put it at 47? Yes, because it's a and that's why they probably got the line at 47 because there's a lot of could be explosive plays. I think that they're leaning more to feel like New England could get more sort of points, and maybe Chicago Bears can come back and chase them back down. But like I said, I'm more concerned about the Bears than anyone in this game. So that's the Thursday game for the Thursday game, guys. That's just my thoughts. But like I say, DraftKings does have the Bears for it, and the line is at 47. Under or over, it's really kind of hard to say. You can kind of see throughout the week. I wouldn't do the right now over and under. It depends on how explosive New England is. If you feel like their its defense are having a hard time, not just stopping Brown, because think about it, he can get 2 TDs and still they can get up. I feel like teams are going to be more focused on him, and you still can't forget about Romeo Dobbs. So I think that's a good NCD. And like I say, you got still the tight end, you still got the running back. And like I said, don't forget you got short game. Sometimes those short game passes, if the defense is expecting something, um, a deep ball, and you got the open field, the middle of the field open, and that defense wasn't ready for that, and you went for a short game, that 5 yard gain can become a good 10 or 20 yards getting down the field. Could it get you close to the red zone? Yes, it depends on where the ball is at, where they are at. And hey, if they're really close to that end zone, that could lead into a touchdown, depending on if the defense is not ready or set and they're, not suspecting this play. We've seen it plenty of times. So that could be another any TD, like I say, for just New England. Because, like I say, I feel like offense wise, New England has the advantage here. And that's why I say I'm surprised they have the Bears. The next game for Sunday, which is actually a Sunday morning game, it'll be Pittsburgh and the Steelers. I do like this game. Like I said, I know Aaron Rodgers is still on his retirement tour. I know I had the Saints winning a couple games. They have Pittsburgh winning here. They'll be in France. It'll be 9 o'clock a.m. Um, I'm suspecting this to be quite a good game. I feel like Aaron Rodgers will probably get a good 2 or 3 TDs. I would put Aaron Rodgers to throw 2 TDs in this. If I was doing that betting, if I was doing a prop, that's a prop too. Don't forget, guys, you can put a quarterback on how many how many touchdown passes they can throw. I feel like Aaron could get 2 here. It could be a good 2 easily. But like I say, I depend on how the Saints defense is going to be. Like I say, that's who the Steelers are going to face is the defense, and vice versa for the Saints. And we know, can Pittsburgh have a better defense than what they did under Tomlin? Because Mike Tomlin is now gone. They now have the old head coach from Dallas. Now he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who did reunite with Aaron Rodgers. So could they possibly? And that's why I feel like could they think about it? The Steelers, Mike McCarthy and Rodgers got really close to the Super Bowl. Actually got close. I have actually won a Super Bowl or got close to a Super Bowl together. So it this could be something they could play into. Like I said, I feel like this retirement tour, they're gonna try to drain this all the way into maybe close to the playoffs because they're gonna probably try to get these ticket sales up. So that's something like I don't see like the Steelers losing a lot of games, guys. So keep that in mind. They do got the Steelers winning here. I think this will be a Steelers win because one, there no one's at home. They're going to be cross seas. Saints, I feel like I say, I don't feel like the Saints are going to lose too many games. They could probably afford to lose this game as long as they're not behind in their division two. Um, I looked at these Saints division here, guys. Let's see. Can I pull it up? Yeah, I looked at the Saints division. Is it a tough division? It can be. Because I am hearing that they might start Tula for Atlanta, which is crazy. But because I'm like, even if Tula wins the quarterback starting job, I'm still worried. You still got to think about that those concussions that he did get. If anyone on that offensive line get hurt, especially if you got a good person that is doing the pass protect to keep him from getting sacked and stuff like that, you got to keep that in mind too. So it can start off to be a good thing, or it can start off to be a bad thing. I feel like first, I say by week 4, you're not seeing no adjustment. They're gonna have to pull Tula and go to that other quarterback, which, like I say, we don't know yet because we haven't seen it just yet. So that's something that we have to look at throughout time. That's why here I would take the Saints. I mean, not the Saints. I mean Pittsburgh in this game. DraftKings has Pittsburgh. They got the over 42. Um, I have to see. Like I feel like I already got 2 TDs for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You might get 2 from the Saints. Like I say, the Saints might keep up with it. I feel like this game could come down to a field goal or a touchdown. If it depends on who has the ball the last, and I feel like the Pittsburgh probably have the last. That's why, and then another thing too, they got Saints. I mean, they got 49ers and Falcons, and I know the Steelers are gonna probably try to win this game because they probably. I feel like long as and like I said, even if a few players on the 49ers are injured, they don't usually get injured that early. Usually, it's like close to playoffs with them. So usually there's pretty much good healthy about around now, and I feel like they have enough players on that offensive to make up for some of the injuries. So I feel like the 49ers will win this game. They do have the 49ers win this game, even if it is in Atlanta. I don't see Atlanta going for the upset. Not saying that it's not going to be a good game because you forget, Robinson had a great year last year. I like this line. They got it over 47. Robinson could get an easy 2 TDs. Can't forget about that. Drake London, I feel like there was times that I feel like he made some great plays, but he could have made. I feel like there could have been some better plays for him, and I feel like that's you got to think about it. Whoever wins this quarterback position, he has to make the play for them, and I think that's where the Atlanta could score an easy. I would say 3 TDs because Robson can get 2, Drake can get 1, but they can also get maybe 1 or 2. But I feel like the 49ers have such a team they can get 4 because they have 4 great players. Don't forget they got Mike Evans, they got their running back, they have 2 wide receivers. They got weapons everywhere. As long as everyone stays healthy. Normally the 49ers are pretty much healthy at week 7. I will go with this 49ers pick that DraftKings had. I will stick with that for that afternoon game. I do like the way they did that for them. We got Cleveland and Tennessee. Um, I did hear the news about they were saying that Sanders is closing the gap between him and Watson, but I feel like I don't think the organization are going to go with Sanders because they gave Watson all this money, man. They got to see. I mean, they got to put him out there. He's going to win the starting position. I don't see him backing Sanders. Um, they're going to go Watson. I know they're going to go. Now, if he gets out there and stink ups the place by week 7, will we have a new quarterback as a Sanders? Hopefully, because Lee Sanders did get the reps, but and he still will probably get the reps with the um first first um starters. So I just I think Sanders has to get a full year with someone to maybe really have me to assess them a little more. I don't think it will be with the Browns because I think they have paid Watts more um, right now, and there was so much money they put so much money stocks in here. They got Tennessee winning. This is actually in Nashville. I feel like Tennessee could win this because just because of the hit that the Bears took. I mean, not the Bears, but Cleveland took um, with the defense. I feel like defense is something that is going to hurt this year, which Miles Garrett went to the Rams. I feel like not saying they didn't get something good in return, but I don't feel like they got somebody as elite as Miles Garrett was on their defense. So we'll definitely um yeah, so I'm gonna go Steelers on this game for the 1 o'clock game. Um it could be it could be a lot of good TDs there, guys. So rack up on your TDs. You could get a lot of good it could be a good yardage here and there. You might get a good 2 TDs here, maybe 1 here. Um depending on who's starting. The only thing about Tula that I am most afraid of, you might get a lot of interceptions too. Like I say, week 7, you'll really know if you want to put a defense in any TD there. But I know on DraftKings you could bet interceptions. So most of the majority of the time, if I know a quarterback that's going to get an interception, I used to put him down for it. I knew Sanders, yeah, they said because he didn't get a lot of starting reps. He had got a lot. Him and Gino was maybe most of the people I put down. That always mostly got one. Most of the majority of the time. So they was the two I definitely put down for any TD. Like I say, this will right now. I don't see a game of the week. This could be if it was Sanders. If Sanders was starting the full 7 games, I would say I would love to see this because Tennessee has the number one draft pick for the. I mean, not number one draft pick, but the first draft pick for the wide receiver out of Ohio State. I would love to see how Williams and I mean Wade and so um Tiggins is gonna be. But I feel like that this is definitely gonna lean more to Tennessee, and they're in Tennessee. This could probably be a easy win. I wouldn't be surprised if take its 2 TDs here because the defense is no one's gonna probably be afraid of the Browns no more because they don't have Myles Garrett and they don't have to worry about them. That could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing too. So that's something that I think a lot of teams have to take in consideration. You got Colts in my Minnesota, actually United States U.S. Bank Stadium. I passed that stadium today and it's a beautiful stadium. Very nice stadium. That was the first time I passed it. It was like really big. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pass it when I go back down. Um, it's a very beautiful stadium. I like it. I was like, man, this stadium is pretty big. Probably one of the best stadiums I've seen so far. Far as I haven't seen none of the new ones yet, but this is one of the ones I was like, man, I really like this stadium. I like the way it looked. I passed that one, and I think I passed the other stadium too. So shouts out to y'all, Minnesota. Great stadium. I did pass it. Still up here now, and I love the stadium. And it is cool now. And it's summertime. It's really like almost down there, like almost like that fall winter right now. So that tells you how it is up here. But like I said, I like this game. Could the Colts get a few TDs here? Yes. I feel like you can get to these, but if Minnesota defense can stop the run, um, I think the Colts are going to have to rely on that tight end. Um, could he get a TD? Yes. If they stop the run, I would be really careful with this, especially you got to really kind of study and see how Minnesota defense is. If you're looking up the research and you're seeing that Minnesota is a team that is stopping the run, especially if they're stopping the run all the way up to week 7, I would go maybe one TD from the tight end, maybe a TD from Jones, if they can get close to the red zone. Like I say, it depends on how well the Colts are going to do in the red zone and how well the Minnesota defense is doing against most teams. So I think that's something that we have to see in the time of the NFL for them. So that's something definitely we'll have to see. I have Minnesota winning this game because, like I said to you guys from the get go, soon when they did the trade with um with Minnesota, Murray, I still feel like Murray could be a MVP candidate, but I did have Jones too, and he got hurt. I feel like Jones could have still had it though, but he got injured. I just feel like Jones' team was a little bit better than what he got now, and I think that's something that you have to we have to take in consideration far as team wise, um, as we get ready for the season. So yes, I have Minnesota on here. I would take that Minnesota bet. The next game we got Miami and the Jets. This is gonna probably be a low scoring game. They have the line at 41. I would probably do the under. Especially, I would have to see how both of these teams are going to play. Miami could win this game, even though it's in Jersey. Miami could probably um, I would definitely put a TD, any TD on the running back for Miami. I would have to see how um the Jets are going to be. Like I said, I'm still concerned about Geno, about how Geno's going to be. He turned over the ball a little too much for me last year, so it's very concerning when it comes to him, and when it comes to the passing game. They got Jersey winning. I think Miami could win this game. This could be an upset the for Miami Dolphins. So I got Miami winning, guys. Um, Next game you got Tampa Bay and Carolina. This game is actually in Carolina. They got Tampa Bay on here. I will go the opposite way. I'm gonna go Carolina. I feel like Carolina by now will actually know if they are playing anything like they played last year. Um, they're definitely going to be a team, a force to be reckoned with. I feel like that's a team that we definitely are going to be, looking at and shut on the outside looking in. I feel like Carolina has to come back and play as well as they was last year. I think if not, I think I have to be worried about their head coach because you know how quickly they love fire head coaches. So that's one team you have to look out for, and I think Carolina's be that team. Um, Next is the Bengals and the Ravens game. Um, they actually got the Ravens in this game. This actually is in Baltimore here. They got it at 52. It could go that because you can get Derrick Henry. He can score. Man, we seen this man score 3 TDs in one game. I think Baltimore, if they go back to this running game, they will probably possess the ball a little bit longer. Here, I feel like another MVP candidate could be Lamar Jackson. I feel like Lamar's a little more happier. Even though they got a new head coach too. It'll be quite to see um the new way they're gonna adjust to that. I think you gotta think about it's gonna be a lot of new play calling when it comes to the Ravens. I feel like if they do the upset, that could probably put them back in that conversation where people really forgot about them. Um, it depends on if the Bengals are healthy, and I'm not gonna lie, I love Lamar. Lamar's my guy, but I feel like Joe Burrow is just better. He's really adjusted with the team. He's right now. I feel like he's just one of those teams that is um he feels like he said this team feels like when he was in LSU. And I feel like he's saying that for a reason. So if he's saying that he feels like this team is a better team for him, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna go Cincinnati here. I'll go against what um, DraftKings has. That's if the Bengals are healthy. And that's if Burrow. I feel like Burrow, a healthy Burrow is a dangerous Burrow. So that's something that you got to take into consideration. I think a lot of people are forgetting that as we are looking at at week 7, especially if they are having a good week. That I think that's something we have to take consideration of. New York and Houston, this could be a great game. This could be a good game. They got a line at 43. I would probably go to over because I feel like the Giants offense is a good offense, but if Houston's defense is anything like how it was last year, um, you can still get a few picks here and there. Um, I don't think by week 7 Scatterable will be back. I see him coming back maybe close to maybe week 9 or 10. So I would think that the Giants are still gonna be doing the pass, which they have a lot of weapons to pass to. So they got Houston here. Um, this is kind of a hard one. It's in Houston, but I would not be surprised if New York comes out with the win. I'm going to go New York. Like I say, we'll really know because week 7, if New York is playing on all cylinders, I feel like they definitely can win this game, even with Houston's defense being away. Even if they get one pick off of them, I feel like New York's offense is a good offense that can battle out of a hole. I think they would show that in this game that they have the heart and they will go over. Especially now, there New York is just so much on the high off of the Knicks win. You never know. So I feel like New York Giants will play good all the way up to the playoffs, but I don't see them getting close to the championships. I feel like they're better teams than them, like the Rams, Buffalo. I will I feel like them in the even right now them and the New England Patriots is probably um could commit you know do well with each other. Um, I like this game. Like I said, we now know that Bo Nix is back in the mix. Bo Nix is actually in this, probably will be starting. They got this will be the afternoon game. Actually, this will be the first afternoon game because it's at 4:05. So this will be the first game that will come on in the afternoon. I would go with what they have here, even though it's in Arizona. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see what's the rookie running back will do here. Marvin Harris still doesn't have a. I feel like he hasn't had the quarterback that he deserves yet. Could he get a touchdown? I feel like he hasn't had that breakout season yet. Maybe it's too much pressure on him. I know how great his dad was. I watched him myself. Really kind of trying to see is that the same thing for Marvin Harris. You hear rumors that maybe Arizona probably, you know, won't probably win too many games, so they're probably going to try to go for Peyton Manning nephew and Eli Manning's nephew, and you could probably have another Manning and Harris reunion. Um, that kind of worries me because even if the Jets doesn't work out, I'm more worried about Sanders going if because I feel like maybe somebody's going to make a trade for Sanders. I don't like the Jets ones for Sanders because the Jets. I feel like if you're going to get Sanders, you gotta go. You gotta might as well just start building around him, and I feel like they right now don't have that for him. I feel like a better team that could fit him is Arizona. That's if they don't get him, then yeah, they might. Arizona might or is looking for more the Manning's nephew. So I do like this pick. They do got Denver um, Denver winning here. I do go Denver because, like I say, we do have the news about Bo Nix being back. So I do second that with the Broncos winning this game. And this is a game that I feel like they can put in the bag and just win. The next game is Green Bay and the Lions, Detroit Lions. This is actually in Detroit. I think the Lions will win here. Like I say, I haven't heard the news about defensive player um, on the team for the defense for Green Bay right now, Michael. So I don't know. Will he be back by now? I didn't know he did have the ACL injury, but he's been working out. Could he be back by week 7? It could be, but I feel like Detroit's going to be really. They're playing with house money this year. They're going to try to win as many games as they'll win. Listen, like I say, they are a decent team. I feel like they are a team that is not a team you just overlook. They play well. They go and fourth and it could be 4th and 5 or 4th and 3. They're going for it. Sometimes they go for it on a lot of fourth down. Could that change? Maybe. You could probably see a lot of different things where they're gonna try to maybe punt it more now. You don't know. Maybe the game plan will be different. Maybe they'll try to come into this season of trying to not be in a situation of being fourth and something, so they won't have to be in those situations. Maybe that's something that I feel like they have worked on and will work on. So I see. Yeah, I think I see Detroit winning this game, even though Green Bay. It'll be a pretty probably close game for them in Green Bay right now. So we'll see. That'll be your second afternoon game, and it's actually in Detroit. They got the 50 over. I would go under here. I don't think it'll be that many TDs on this game because I feel like if the defense holds up, I feel like they could stop. I feel like yes, Lions could get an easy 2 TDs, but I feel like after that second one, you could probably have Green Bay maybe slow the bleeding down if that's already if they're in the hole. We'll have to see. Like I say, week 7 will pretty much know most of how these teams are playing and how they are adjusting to most teams, and a lot of film will be out by then. You got Rams and the Raiders here. They got they actually it looks like they got the say LA. No, no, okay, so they got the Rams. Okay, I was say they got the Raiders. This is actually in Vegas. I had the Rams just got the better defense, man. A lot of people I think the defense now is the defense to beat is I feel like 3 teams, and I've been saying it for the longest. New York, I feel like has a great defense. Now, and I'm not gonna lie, maybe 4. I like Cowboys defense, but they always had a great defense. It's just sometimes the offense hasn't did what they need to do, and that's what kind of worries me when it comes to Dallas. Or sometimes the offense can be good and their defense is good. So sometimes it seems like those two don't gel together, which is weird because it shouldn't be like that. But usually it is like that when it comes to those 2 teams of the um Dallas Cowboys and their defense and offense. Um, Here, yeah, I would take the Rams too. I feel like the Raiders will they be better? Um, we'll have to see, maybe, but I don't see. They still got a lot to do, a lot to get. I feel like they're probably not going to definitely put their number 1 draft pick out there no time soon because I feel like they're going to keep trying to stack up and build around them. to before they put him out there. I think that's the best thing because that's their future. So we probably won't see him quite some time, and then they got the quarterback here that's signed for at least about 3 years, and he signed a big deal too. So that tells you that they're in no rush to put their number one draft pick in no time soon. You got Kansas City and Seattle. I'm surprised they have Seattle winning this game. This is an 8 o'clock night game. Um, I think if long as Patrick Mahomes is healthy, by week 7 we'll definitely know. I know the stuff that's going on with Rasheed Rice. It is kind of concerning. Like I say, we know how you know Kansas City played last year. We know Travis Kelsey. The way he played, I feel like he's gonna be coming in with a chip on his shoulder. So we cannot forget about him. Now they have the running back from Seattle, and I feel like this could be. Like I say, he knows this field better than anyone on this team. This will be one of those games that I will put him down for 2 TDs. He can get it very well. Walker, um, Kenneth Walker. So, and he knows this field better than anyone. So, I will put him down for 2 TDs. To be honest with you, I know a lot of people are probably going to put Kels down for 2 TDs, but I would go Walker here, 2 TDs. It could be easy. I would go the opposite way. They got Seattle. I'm gonna go KC because I feel like KC is going to get into the playoffs, but I think they got a lot of teams that are going to be very hard for them to beat. This could be right now. Like I say, it looks like this week here maybe the 2 games of the week I would say right now, if I was just looking at it, maybe the Cincinnati and Baltimore game, that could probably be a pretty good game. This New York and Houston game will probably be one of the picks for me, guys. So those are 2 games that right now I do like seeing on paper. Um, for the Monday night game, we have Dallas and Philly. This is actually in Philly. They got Philly winning this game. Week 7, like I said, I have to see how Dallas defense is playing. If they're not playing well, then the Eagles could win this. But if they're playing well and the offense is playing well, like I say, both have to be on the same page. I would say maybe Dallas could win this because normally when you're in the division, both teams play each other pretty hard. I would go maybe Dallas here over my Philadelphia Eagles. Um, they got at 48. I will put it under because normally, like I say, these rival games are very close. Sometimes it doesn't get too crazy out of control unless in like most of your team is injured. For week 7, who has the bye? You have Buffalo, the Chargers, the Commanders, and you have the Jacksonville Jaguars that will actually have um the bye week of week 7. Let's go to week 8 here, guys. Let's talk about week 8 while we're on the schedule. Pulling while that is pulling up. Thank you guys for coming in. Like I say, this is Inside the NFL Mind of Miami. I'm your host, Miami the Great. Thank you guys for coming. If you would like to follow me, banner down, because God, we got too many shows. Shouts on the cow though. Giving him some followers. Why not? Like I see you down below. That was my bad, y'all. But hey, like I see you down below. Give me a follow. That's Miami the Great 305 on X. Follow the DWE TV page on X. Give the Twitch pages a follow. That's DWE Radio, DWE TV on Twitch. And also give the YouTube. We're live right now on YouTube. That's Talk It Up Podcast on YouTube. Go ahead and give that a subscribe. You see this QR code right here? I'm getting ready for up with a strategy. That's why I talk to you guys. I'm really trying to get some formats to really like just get some good bets down. I know most people, like I say, we're going to talk about the odds and stuff as we get into the year of the NFL. So that's something that we'll definitely talk about as far as the NFL. We're going to start off the week 8 here with the Thursday game. I do not like this game here. Ooh, mm, the jackpot is going to be crazy, man. I don't know who's going to hit here. This is going to be a tough one. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If any TDs could go, it'd be really weird. They got Green Bay winning here. It's actually in Green Bay. This is an 8 o'clock game. We're definitely going to talk about this game, guys. I'm going to really try to do a deep dive with you guys. I'm going to look at some profiles. We're going to try to look up some good slips for you guys because we're definitely going to need it for a game like this. They got the line at 45. So they're suspecting this game to be a pretty decent game. Uh, will it be? Maybe. This is one of those iffy games for me, guys. They got Green Bay winning. I had Green Bay losing the last week, so I would have them winning this week because I had Carolina winning. Um, give me Green Bay on this game. Like I say, it'll be very interesting on a lot of props here. I wouldn't put too many stocks in this game. If I was betting this game, I would probably do a $50 limit for any TDs and maybe a $50 limit on props. And that's like I'm just saying, like split it up and see like that's just me breaking it down as I might do a 20 here, 20 there, but this is gonna be a very deep like study game of really you're playing cat and mouse on this week 8. I'm not saying it's not a bad game. I'm just saying I don't like it as a person who does bets because it's gonna be really iffy. FanDuel's going if they come with the jackpot, man, they gonna it's gonna be one of the ones you gotta really kind of have a feel of who But I say like this, week 8, you'll know who's getting those TDs and who's your top player that most likely sniffs that red zone and just has a nose for the red zone. That's what they usually call it. So we'll definitely know. Now, I love this game. We don't have a morning game for Sunday, which sometimes I do like because those morning games sometimes is crazy. Um, but I do like this. No morning games for Sunday. The first game is Baltimore and Buffalo. They got Buffalo winning. This is actually in Buffalo. I feel like Buffalo can win. I did have the Ravens winning like that week before. Give me Buffalo here. I feel like Buffalo is going to play. I think this will be a decent game. This might be one of the games of the week right here. If you ask me, I do like this game here. This could be a very shootout game. I already feel like maybe this one of the games that CJ gonna say you'll probably put the and when it comes to props, he'll probably put most of these guys in that 175 passing yard range. You might put Jackson for 2 TDs, and Allen in 2 TDs. That I feel like Jackson will have a better year than he did last year. I know last year he didn't have a decent season because he was mostly strained by injury. So I think that's where you had your with him at Tennessee. The Bengals. I do like this game here. Tennessee Bengals. Here I would take. This is actually Cincinnati. They got Cincinnati winning. Um, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I don't know. Well, no, I will go Cincinnati because, like I said, I don't know too sure about Tennessee's defense. I think that's why they're trying to lean more to Cincinnati. So I will go Cincinnati too. Give me Cincinnati. I like that. They got the line at 49. It could maybe hit. Like I say, you got two TDs, maybe three TDs. With Cincinnati, so I can see that happening. Arizona and Dallas. This is actually in Texas. Give me Dallas because I feel like I say, Arizona's going to have to really show everyone that they can win games. And like I say, if they can, they can. But I don't see them winning a lot of games this year. I'm going to go Dallas too. I feel like this is going to be a good game for not just Pickens, CD Lamb. I feel like they both can at least get probably one, maybe one and a half, one, and the other half two. So is this? That's the thing about that. CD Lamb and Pickens is going to be very hard to know who gets two TDs, but you could probably put both of them down for at least one any TD. I wouldn't be surprised if you was doing a two slip bet. I would put them both down for just a two slip if you was doing a two slip bet to see what the odds are gonna get you. I wouldn't say match the odds. I would say just put one of your safe bet amounts on there, guys, and come out with a good, decent amount range on the bet there. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna go Dallas too. I think most of the picks that they had. This could probably be a cakewalk for Dallas. We'll see. I do like this next game. This could be another game of the week. Most of these games on Sundays are decent games. I love this Detroit and Minnesota game. They have Detroit winning. I think Minnesota's going to win. Minnesota, I can't believe that this could be one of those ones to my betters. Go with Minnesota. We definitely, especially week 8, we should definitely know. I think this will change if Minnesota's on a great run. This line is going to change. It's going to go from Denver to Minnesota. I'm betting y'all. I'm guaranteeing y'all that. So we'll see. I do not like this game. This is one of those low probably scoring games. I would probably go to under. It's got Jets in Vegas. Actually they got Jersey winning. I am not gonna lie. Maybe Raiders will take this. I will go Raiders, guys. On this one, I feel like Raiders could probably take this game and win it on the road. And they could win this game. So I give me Raiders on this road game. I will go Raiders. You got Cleveland and Pittsburgh. This is actually in Pittsburgh. Another tough game for Pittsburgh. I mean, not a tough game for Cleveland. I'm gonna go Steelers because, like I say, we know Aaron Rodgers is on that retirement tour. Like I say, I know they're gonna milk it, especially when they're at home. I wasn't surprised if they be winning most of their home games, guys, just to try to sell those tickets to get those home ticket sales going. So give me Steelers here. I think I'm gonna go Steelers on this game here. You got Tampa Bay and Atlanta. This could be another. So these three games here are mostly games I'm worried about being low scoring, guys. So just be aware of that. Just I say by week 8 you'll really know these teams, but still be kind of quite alarming about these games. Don't try to put too much stock in it just in case. For right now, like I say, we'll definitely know if you know that these are not going to be great games. These are games that you could probably not go too crazy, put a little minnows on that game. I would definitely do a small, safe bet on these, maybe a 2 or 4 legger bet games here, guys. On these 4 game, on these, well, I mean 3 game, yeah, well 4, not me, yeah 3. The Vegas versus Jets, Cleveland versus Pittsburgh, and Atlanta versus Tampa Bay. They got Tampa Bay winning this game. Like I said, I don't know. I'm a little worried because now Baker doesn't have most of his offensive weapons. He doesn't have his running game no more. I would probably lean more to Atlanta. I feel like Atlanta's going to be in that. Depends on how they are looking for the season. I would go more of a Atlanta here. I would take Atlanta for the upset. Like I say, I don't think. And then this is a division game. This could probably be way low scoring. You might get maybe two, maybe three TDs. I don't go no farther than that. Maybe. I feel like Robinson may get two. And you might get London one, and that could put them up. I feel like they have the better offense than Tampa Bay, and I'm surprised that the line is Tampa Bay here. So, give me Atlanta. I'm going to go Atlanta. I'm going to go the opposite way, guys. Colts and Jacksonville Jaguars, which Jacksonville is going to be coming off of their bye week. They're going to be pretty fresh. Um, it's going to be at Jacksonville, so they don't. That means they don't have to travel. Um, a little thing about that though is just, um, you're coming off a break. You got to get those juices back flowing. This game could start off really slow in the beginning and might won't pick up until maybe the second or maybe third quarter. So that's something that you have to probably keep in mind in this game, guys. And I'm just talking about people as if you're doing props and bets. So that's something that you want to keep in the mind of your mind. Like I say, we will really know um, team is and how these players are going to be. We'll definitely see. I feel like Jacksonville has to come back and be the way they are, and I feel like they are. I think this is another team that I feel like people are going to look. I would not be surprised if Jacksonville doesn't get to make the playoffs. I feel like they should. I feel like they have a possibility of getting to the playoffs. If you ask me, in their division. I love this Charger and Rams game. This could be a great game. Now we're back to the games that are really interesting. This is really one of the first afternoon games. This is a tough game right here. Both of the games. I feel like if this game is a explosive game, this will make you know if they're going to go the decision that me and CJ said, because see, this is one of the two teams that me and CJ said could be in the Super Bowl or see each other down the line when it gets down to the wire. And me and CJ said that, and this will be one of the things that will definitely. This game here will definitely show you if they're playing. If this game is like one of those most exciting games, which you do got both sides. You got Puka on one side. You got the Chargers wide receivers. You got man. It's gonna be a great, decent, maybe shootout game for the game. I would go pretty much um two TDs for the Rams. Two TDs for Chargers. Like I say, they could both hit. Um, I would do great on yards, even running yards. I feel like this could be very much of a rushing game, though. So I think the game plan will probably switch up, guys. Put you a few yards in there. Go a little bit up on it because I feel like maybe the coaches are going to probably try to run the ball to keep the ball out of the opposite player's hand. That's something that you probably have to keep in mind here. Like I say, this can come down to the wire. I love this game. We're back to another decent afternoon game. Kansas City and the Denver Broncos. This is actually in Denver. They got Denver winning. It depends on um, how's Kansas looking. This could be another close, great game. Don't forget, both of these guys are in the division. They both know each other very well. Like I keep telling you guys, the division games are very close. It's down to the wire. Um, most of the majority of the time, it could be high scoring, and it could be low scoring because the defense knows this offense, the offense knows this defense. So that's something that we have to keep in mind. This could come down to wire. They got Denver winning this. We know how hard it is to win in Cleveland. Denver. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I would probably go Kansas City, depending on how well they're playing. But if they're not playing well, if they're coming in banged up, if I start to see a little kinks in the armor, I'm going to lean more to Denver here. So I wouldn't be surprised if Denver takes the win for this team on this game. But I feel like Kansas City could win in Denver. We've seen it before. And would not be surprised. Patrick Mahomes, man, if he doesn't get MVP, he's definitely going to get Comeback Player of the Year. Um, that will be something I would put him down for just in case. But I'm more worried about the offensive line keeping him protected because this is your franchise player. You do not want to get him hurt, and I think that will be mostly the main concern um, for um, for Kansas City. Do I see him running a lot? I don't think so because I think that puts him in the risk of getting injured. Week 8, I have to see. I still wouldn't do it. I'm surprised they're playing him. Like I say, hey, we'll have to see how that's going to go. I'm more worried about that because of him coming off the injury. So that's why I say I have him going to playoffs, but I don't have them going to the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna lie. I would not be surprised if they miss the playoffs because, like I said, I had the Chargers going to the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if Denver still. This is the way they sneak in because Kansas City might fall down back because of some of the injuries might hit them early or it might hit them late. It'll be really interesting to see, especially if the Kansas City doesn't have Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Kels can throw to himself. They can run the ball as much as they can. Walker's great, but I mean, you can only do so much with best that. I feel like Kansas City definitely needs Patrick, no matter what. So this could be a great game, another good game for them. We'll see. What mostly one of the games of the week. Like I said, I see a few games of the week on this slip. Like I said, I told y'all guys about most of the games I'm really concerned about for week 8. New England and Miami. This is another division game. Normally, these two teams play each other very well. When Tula was there, he did keep them in the game. No, that's not. I don't think
Hopefully y'all can hear me. Yes, you can. But like I said, that's something that we definitely have to see on the thing. Let me see, can y'all guys. Let me go into the live. We're live. Okay, so yeah, I just thought my um microphone wasn't working because I ain't see it. Okay, see now it's moving, so I didn't see it at first, so maybe the other mic was working. But like I said, yeah, we definitely have to see that. I don't know how much y'all heard. Hopefully y'all heard what I was saying. But like I said, I love the Chicago and Seattle game. I would go maybe Seattle because, like I said, I've been very big concern about the Bears here. Um, we have on the bye week we have the New York. I mean the New Orleans Saints. We have New York Giants. We have the San Francisco 49ers and Houston. They're pretty good teams, especially if they're going into the rest week with a great um, schedule. I mean, great wins. I feel like if they take the rest at the right time and get adjusted, I feel like they can go into the week with that. Like I said, we did 2 weeks here, guys, on the show with you guys. So um, before we, like I said, it was a night one. Um, let me see. Have like I said, I didn't see any new props, guys. It pretty much was the same thing. When it came up to the NFL DraftKings, it's no props yet. I don't think yet because I think we're still like 13 weeks away from uh, from the um from the NFL schedule. Let me see. Let me go to NFL odds real quick. I don't know why I didn't do it. It just took me back up there. New stuff yet on the thing. If so, we'll go in there because, like I said, I know they had week one. They had the NETDs. I already did a couple NETDs already. We're actually 12 weeks into the kickoff, guys. So my bad. I kept saying 13 weeks, so we're 12 weeks away from the kickoff season of the NFL um, playoffs. Um, guys, let's see. Uh, what he? Okay, we're gonna go to games because let me go to games. Prop. Let's see. I think they gave it. Say it on here. They have some weird props on here. Oh, they got the winning margins. Let's see. Okay, let me go because it looks like they got the props on here right now. Because I guess we're getting close to the season. If so, I'll talk about it real quick with you guys and kind of give y'all an idea the of what they all got. Let's see. So we got NCD, we got Game Line. So now they just got the margins. They don't got the yardage yet. So um yeah, so we'll definitely get into more of the prop bets, guys, as we get closer to the season. We're 12 weeks away, so we're getting really close to the NFL season, man. I cannot wait. Like I say, definitely, we'll definitely come on early on Thursday with you guys. The show will come on at 6 on those Thursday before the game starts. Where I will be running down. Like I said, we'll go into prop finders. Um, we'll go into prop finders first. Write down a couple of stuff. Like I said, I'll get you guys ready for the especially week one. That's definitely what we'll do week one. We'll definitely do it every week. Um, for the schedule, as long as it's not a Thursday game. We'll actually do two in the first week because there's a Wednesday game and a Thursday game. So I would definitely do Wednesday and Thursday for you guys. So there'll be two inside the minds of that week where we'll be discussing the props and just the bets. I will not be talking about the schedule. Like I said, I will give mine. There will be no top five teams that first week or game of the week because there will be no game of the week that just yet. But we'll definitely talk about props and bets, guys. Just giving you guys some some ideas of what ways you can go to make some money for that first week, guys. Like I say, if you guys do want to join the Discord, it's up there right there. If you can see that QR code, go ahead and scan it and get inside the Discord of me and CJ. And join us over there on Discord. I'm gonna probably start putting down a link of the Twitter page because I'm gonna try to post on there more too. As the NFL season, like I said, I'm gonna try to come up with a great format for us. For my channel for when I'm in there betting in the morning, I might put a strategy of what we can do far as betting, especially on that Wednesday, Thursday game of slips, how we can go. Like I said, I love coming up with a strategy. Like I say, even if you come up with a strategy and it still loses, that's okay. Just come up with a strategy. Don't never chase the bet. And if you do know anyone with a gambling problem, please call the gambling number down below because it can be addictive. Like I say, I took a break, man. There was no more games. It's okay. Sometimes you got to take a break. Like take a break. Like I said, I'm usually it's NFL and NBA for me. I every now and then I used to do NBA, baseball, but I did it because it was NBA going on. But now NBA is going on. I've just been really kind of just trying to put money into the accounts and just stack up. So once it's time for us to do those bets, I can do those bets on the apps. So that's something that's the plan. Where I just been putting some amounts in there. So when we get to some of these slips and it's like a certain amount, I want to try to at least hit big, and I think that's a strategy. Just come up with some good strategy, guys, of where we can hit. Some ways to go, and we'll definitely be doing that on Thursday. You will not get that on Tuesdays, but guess what? If you do want to bet, um, that's those Sundays because you have to join the Discord, and like I say, it's that QR code up there at the top. Shouts out to everyone who's joining me today. Sorry for coming on late. I just went on air. I actually went over an hour, so we actually almost went to almost 2 hours. Because like I say, I like to talk about football. So thank you guys. You can join me on this upcoming Tuesday where I'll be running down some news about the NFL that I didn't hit on today. Um, you could probably catch me live again on that Thursday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or like I say, I'll be just doing this schedule and just the bets. Or we'll probably discuss a little bets too. So join us on there. If you would like to follow me, I'm on X. That's Miami the Great 305 on X. Join the also give the follow to our company page as you can see down below. That's the DWTV page down there. So give that page a follow too. And join me if you would like to see me again. I will be back live on 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with DWE Radio. Um, Talking about some wrestling content and some analytics with about the WWE. So join me over there on Saturday. If you miss me on Saturday, you will only see me again on that Tuesday. Other than that, guys, I am out. Like I say, thank you guys for coming. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye bye. Other than that, peace, love. We are out, and let's, like I say, once again, we're 12 weeks away from the NFL season, so can't wait to hang with you guys every Thursday night before the Thursday games come on. Other than that,
Hey, hey, okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold.